Good afternoon. We are checking in today. Today is the ninth, I believe. Today is Saturday the ninth. Um, got a bit of a late start today. Definitely was hoping to have this done a lot earlier. I still got my workout in. My goals right now are exercise, read, meditate every day. That's the three things I'm focused on trying to make a habit of. I did work out, but I started very late today. But it's okay. We still got up. We did something. I was awake. I just had a slow day and decided to take a Saturday and watch some cartoons this morning instead of getting up. So, no, I don't completely regret it, but there is a little regret, especially when you're in the early stages of trying to develop good habits. You don't want to set yourself back like that. Um, Kind of a two steps back, one step forward, almost. But I'm not gonna. Oh, hello there. Everybody say hi, Roxas. Oh, come here, buddy. Um, but when you're in the early stages of forming good habits, you do want to make sure you stay on top of it. It takes 21 days to form a habit. Um, so right now, I guess my main one is exercise. Trying to make sure I exercise every day. Watch this. Um, I'm pretty good at reading sometimes. That's probably one that I definitely fall off on pretty often. Meditation is the one that I'm really. I think I might do that like once a month. A true, genuine, like mindfulness meditation. Never really learned much about like body scanning. I know I've heard a lot of people talk about that. Never was able to, I guess, get the right mindset for that one. So if anyone has any advice on body scanning, that'd be cool. Um, but anyway, so yeah, for that's my check in for the day, I guess. And then um, I guess our hot topic. Try and keep this short because I do want to try and still get some errands done. But we'll go ahead and talk about, I guess, one of the big ones, abortion. That seems to be a really big topic right now. A lot of people saying a lot of things about it. At the end of the day, it, it's there's nothing glamorous about it. I don't think anyone's necessarily happy about having one. Um, so it just I don't understand why there's so much controversy behind it. Personally, there was a time in my life I was anti-abortion. I used to, well, what if that baby was a doctor? Or what if that baby cured cancer? And that was just kind of my stance. Uh, Over time, I guess, looking at it rationally, it's a fetus. That it's not trying to take away from the sanctity of life. No one's trying to commit murder, um, but it's a fetus. There's no life at all. Um, so at the end of the day, I, I personally, this is me, uh, and this, I guess you could say, is an opinion, but I think the mother's life is more important than the life of a non-existent child. There are people who die trying to get abortions. Literally just had it happen in Texas not too long ago. I think her name was Nevaeh Crane. Um, so I mean, it's a very real situation. And it's so weird to me when Republicans get so upset with liberals about, oh, you virtue signal. But then you turn around and you can't even make a logical argument about abortion without virtue signaling. I mean, I can understand if you want to be against it and you have some sort of quantifiable or qualitative argument about why. But calling it murder just because you don't like it is like, I mean, it's no different than how y'all call everything communism. It's not murder. It sucks. It's a horrible process to go through. Um, I have known women personally that have had abortions. No one is ever throwing an abortion party. Um, Most people don't even like talking about it. It's a hard experience to go through to make that decision. Um, but at the end of the day, it is the woman's choice, and it is a choice that they should be able to make because the only person it's going to impact is them. If well, actually, it's weird how Republicans are the ones that are always bitching about welfare and not wanting to pay for all these welfare people and whatnot. But what do you think happens when these families in low income communities don't have access to abortion? They're going to have more kids. It's going to cost more taxes. And I don't care, you can say I'm a robot or have no heart or whatever for comparing it this way, but the fact of the matter is it's cheaper to get an abortion than it is to pay for a kid to live under state care for 18 years and then be thrown into the world and probably never have any sort of true support system or anything like that. And you can talk about adoption all you want. There's over 500,000 kids in the foster system right now. If adoption really truly was that much of an option, we wouldn't have an issue with 500,000 kids in foster care. Uh, so if you really feel adoption is that great, then go adopt one of those kids because they need a family more than an unborn fetus does. So, and again, there was a time in my life I was the same way. It's a life. Um, but it just, at the end of the day, the only life in that situation that matters is the woman, the mom. You know, and one thing that someone said to me, I don't forget where I heard it at one point, but I always had that argument of, well, what if the baby cured cancer? But no one ever spun it around to the other side about, the moms in medical school and corporate careers and all these other jobs that they have to put to the wayside to be a mom. Um, and not to mention, even if you don't put your career to the side, you could dedicate yourself to your career. And unfortunately, in the corporate environment, being a mother with child is seen as a distraction. Um, this is straight out of Jack Welch, former GE CEO, his book Winning. This is a thing that was talked about frequently at the executive level, that women were often overlooked for those positions because it was considered that they didn't, they people felt they didn't have enough time because, we can't ask this woman to go spend 2 weeks on the other side of the country in a conference because she has kids at home, so she can't. And, in a lot of cases, a mom wouldn't do that. I'm not saying there are some who won't, but that is the stigma that unfortunately mothers have at a corporate level. Most of the, never mind. Um, so leaving these women the opportunity to make that choice is huge. And trying to minimize it to your emotions and just making it murder, which we all know it's not murder. Even the people saying it, it's not murder. That's just how you rationalize it because you have no other actual logical argument against allowing women safe healthcare. And that's really all that comes down to. Uh, so that's all we'll say for that. Like I said, I'm gonna keep today's video short. And then the last one I will leave you with some financial, I guess, talk. I did add a few videos into the channel. I'm gonna start building some little playlists with different things for all you guys, financial advice, some motivational things, yoga, whatever, something. The goal is to kind of build a little library that filters out a lot of the random stuff that gets put on YouTube. When you just want that 20-minute motivation, before you go into work, while you're driving to work or something, uh, you can just hop on the playlist, put on a video, or if you want some advice on investing. So right now I added a few that are basically what is a stock and what is the stock market. I'll talk more about inflation in another video, but it is kind of the silent killer for a savings account. So I know I also mentioned talking about savings accounts in the last video. That is something I really want to touch on going forward, since I know inflation is going to be such a hot topic as well for the next few years. We're going to talk about how everyone who thinks they care about inflation doesn't. Because if you cared about inflation, you wouldn't have all your money in savings. You'd have it in mutual funds, ETFs, money market accounts, things that appreciate faster than inflation, the rate of inflation. Typically, for example, like a IRA, your average percentage is going to be about 7 to 10% a year. Inflation on average is 2%. So if you have $100 and it gains $7 in asset value, so on paper it's worth $107, but inflation was 2%. So the buying power of that $107 is 2% less. So that $107 in 2025 will buy you less than $107 today will buy you. And that's why it's important to have your money in investments and not just savings accounts. So I know it's intimidating, especially when you open up a app and there's 50,000 stocks to pick from. How do you know which ones to pick? So, kind of going along and as we go down this journey, that's something I'll be helping people with as I work on my own portfolio. I'll be sharing some of the stocks that are in mine, that are doing well, that are doing bad, cannabis. So hopefully that'll help. I will not tell you what to invest in, but I will show you what I've invested in. I don't recommend investing in something that I have a super high return on, because chances are that means it's up. So it's probably going to come down a little bit soon. But that's stuff we can talk about in later videos. So with that, like I said, I'm going to wrap up today kind of short. I'm about to head to Schoolhouse Brewery. I got to go get some materials for the stout that I'm brewing. It is a coffee and, well, I didn't get to do exactly what I wanted. I wanted a coffee and cream imperial stout, but it's really going to be more just coffee. Hopefully it has got enough sweetness from the malt, and I added a little extra sugar to it that is non-fermentable. So hopefully that'll give it the mouthfeel that I'm looking for. But I got to go get some bottles for that and some supplies. I've also got some stuff to make mead, so I got to get on top of that before my apples go bad. I'm going to be doing a pumpkin apple mead for the fall. Although it probably, as I've been reading, I've never done mead. I have done beer. But apparently letting mead age for up to a year or more really brings a lot of the fruit flavors out if you do a fruited mead. So I may drink a little bit now, but I'll probably put a few bottles away for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And hopefully we'll see how they age, and then maybe give some of those away. Um, well, I mean, I'll end up probably giving all of it away, most of it, but I definitely want to keep a couple for myself. So, but anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Be blessed by whatever God you believe in, and y'all stay safe out there.